My screen visible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so yes, what are we going to be discussing today? As you can see, I've called it case study 5A because, as I told you in the beginning, also, if time permits, then we'll do a 5B as well, okay, to understand the cases better. Okay, so you can see the case, but then, as is our normal routine, I will do a first time reading of the entire case so that you'll understand it well, and then we'll try to analyze that case and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so for those of you who are in the meeting for the first time, right, and have never been on any of my previous meetings, this is the procedure that we usually follow. Okay, we open out a case, we have a one time thorough reading of it without any kind of interruptions or any kind of questioning in between. And once we are all on the same page with regard to the entire case, then we are going to be analyzing the case to understand it better. Okay, all right. So I'll do the reading as is the normal routine. Okay. AMS Fertilizers, a 11-year-old fertilizer manufacturing company in Punjab, decided to expand their business in three other states, namely Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Assam, where the product is having a good demand. They plan to approach the farmers directly to understand their demands and also the dealers in the said states to establish the products. Mr. Arunodai, who is looking after the HR department of AMS, was called by the CEO and founder, Mr. A.M. Sandhu. He informed Arunodai that, Arunodai, today I am excited as we are expanding our business to other parts also. So I want you to identify the best candidates for our marketing department who can establish our products in the new market. He continued, Arunodai, I want three best marketing candidates in place within a week. Don't wait for any further orders. Complete the task in the best possible way. Mr. Arunodai also started his work with immediate effect. Okay, so Mr. Arunodai is the head of the HR department. Okay, so he has been approached by the CEO and he's been asked to find out and recruit three best marketing candidates to take over that expanded plant. Where are these plants? Where is this manufacturing plant of this fertilizer company going to be set up? The three new states are Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Assam. Okay. So Mr. Arnodhar set on the task immediately. Okay. He finalized three best candidates, namely Mr. Kushwant, Mr. Devnath, and Mr. Badrinath. All the three candidates were having very good experience and excellent track record in top fertilizer companies. After recruitment, Mr. Arunodai introduced them to Mr. A.M. Sandhu. Thereafter, Mr. Sandhu assigned them with their duties. Okay, now what is the challenge? Okay, after a month, A.M. Sandhu, oh, 1 second, there's something wrong with the case. It's not visible, right? Hold on. Yes. Yes. What is the challenge to Mr. Arunodai? Okay. After a month, Mr. A.M. Sandhu called Mr. Arunodai and started a heated argument as follows. Arunodai, I believed you and asked you to recruit three best candidates. Once you finalized, I didn't have a second thought. I placed them for the task, but you destroyed all my dreams. Confused, Arunodai asked in a very polite voice, but sir, I brought the best candidates. I'm not able to understand the issue, sir. I didn't even get the opportunity to meet them after I left them in your cabin. Mr. Sandhu said, okay, let me explain to you very clearly. Except Mr. Badrinath, who is placed in Assam, both of your candidates or both of your other two candidates could not bring any business. They failed and are in the verge of giving up themselves. So, Arunodai, tell me, what should I do now? Why should I pay you if you are unable to even do a basic HR job? Okay, so you are all here with me on this case. It's a short case, as I told you. So, before we, plunge into the question answers for these particular case, can somebody quickly summarize the case for me and say what are we facing right now? What is the problem in AMS fertilizers? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah. IMS Fertilizers, who is a manufacturing company in Punjab, decided to expand their operations in the
Mm,
states, namely Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Assam. And he
correct.
approached the CEO of the company, approached the HR department, and he said that please bring me three best candidates for these respective states to,
Absolutely.
yeah, to give them the job to do the work. And he said that he was the best candidate. So same way, the Mr. Arunodey, who was the HR, he also like selected three best candidates, and
Mm,
I think he left with the um, boss, CEO.
okay.
Then after these name Mr. Pushwant, Mr. Devnath, and Mr. Badrinath. So,
Mm-hmm.
boss also assigned them duties. Then after some time, I think yeah, one
What
minute,
happened
ma'am.
after that?
Yeah, after some time, and
Mm,
again he called back the HR and asked him that let me like Arun, because since he's the best HR, the boss
mm,
believed him and he is asking, I asked you to recruit three best candidates, and once
correct.
you finalize, I didn't have a second that, so he didn't actually, I think so, didn't interview more than what he has done.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
directly he has given them the duties.
Mm,
So after this, now they are having trouble with these candidates. He's
correct.
telling that only one is able to do his job, perform better. Other two
Mm-hmm.
was having difficulty in doing the duties.
Correct.
So he is now questioning his HR that what shall we do now?
Okay.
What is the problem?
Okay, very good, Yamini. Okay, that was very good summarization of the case. Okay, so basically, I think all the important aspects have been well integrated into the summary, and I think whatever we need also to analyze the issue that they are facing right now, that that despite having the best candidates on the job, Mr. A.M. Sandhu found that only one of them is performing well and the other two are almost on the verge of giving up, right? They want to just quit and go. They're not able to find any success in the work that they're doing. Now, the question is, Mr. A.M. Sandhu obviously is not in one of his best moods when he called Arunodai to discuss the case, right? And he literally started yelling at Arunodai saying that you are the HR manager. I trusted you so much with this job, right? All you had to do was to get three people recruited because we are expanding our business. And I had given you a week's time to do that. And after that, you have disappointed me. You have recruited three candidates and you have disappointed me because two out of three are not able to perform their job well, right? And Mr. Arunoyodai, on the other hand, is also surprised. What was his stand? Why do you think he was surprised at Mr. Sandhu's gesture or at his comments and tone? Why was he surprised?
Okay, Gajanan, I'm here. So
Yeah, tell me, Gajana.
the my opinion is that the two HR had three persons. So one is
Mm,
performing well, two doesn't perform.
mm-hmm.
So instead of going to HR,
Right.
first another need to talk to those people. What exactly the problem facing?
Mm,
What could be the solution for it? And thereafter can think and try to solve this. So might be they solve this problem. Maybe they are a new in
mm,
organizations that they couldn't follow, they couldn't aware with the policy and all.
mm-hmm.
They haven't visited the brand to the customer requirement. So
Okay.
these things should be maybe linked with that. So that the reason maybe not
Okay.
farming. So we need to
Oh,
understand all aspects to cover that.
all
Do not
right.
just
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Thank you very much for the inputs, Gajanan. Now tell me, how many of you in the class agree with what Mr. Gajanan said and you are all feeling that this could be an issue?
Ma'am, good
Tell
evening.
me,
Princy
Princy. Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And basically, HR, the candidates they were looking for was marketing in a different regions. It is a new
Hmm.
place where they
Right.
have to find a regional people where their same language and
Mm.
same connects with the market. And the
Okay.
HR manager had never been touched with a marketing manager who has to recruit the correct candidate for the particular regions.
Mm-hmm.
Different places will have a different connects. Maybe they would have
Correct.
collected people from the same region and put them into the different places where the candidate will find
Mm-hmm.
difficulty to do the business in a new place because they
Right.
themselves will not know the connects over there. So
Okay.
from the same place they have to find the candidates. So and basically they have to go through a proper channel of recruitment through the marketing managers,
Okay.
and along with that even CEO, and if the HR also had recruited a candidate, it is a responsibility, second round of responsibility CEO to understand the candidate,
Mm-hmm.
and he has to also would have checked the capabilities of the candidates, how knowledgeable the candidates are.
Mm-hmm.
So these places both of them are not done so.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe
Okay. Great. Okay. So thank you, Princey. Again, some new
Hello.
points have come into the discussion. Yes, tell me, Ankit.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like candidate, yeah, ma'am, in HR, ma'am, in HR, like board, like HR consultancy also there and HR company HR also there. Like कंपनी का जो सर मैम जो कंपनी का जो एचआर होता है एचआर मैनेजर तो कैंडिडेट का
Hmm.
स्टेबिलिटी देखता है लाइक स्टेबिलिटी में हाँ स्टेबिलिटी में लाइक उसको प्रोडक्ट नॉलेज है कि नहीं एंड उसको
Ankit, can you
कितनी
speak
साल
a
का
little
एक्सपीरियंस है
loudly? There's a
एंड
lot of
उनके
background
प्रोफाइल
noise
में
at your
हाँ
end. So can you speak a little loudly because your voice is getting merged with all the noise in the background?
हेलो
Yeah, yeah. Can you speak a
हेलो
little loudly so that I can hear you clearly, Ankit? There's a lot
हाँ
of
मैम
background noise, so I'm
मैम
not
देखो
able to hear you well.
यस मैम लाइक लाइक मैम जैसा कंपनी का जो एचआर रहता है वो कंपनी का मैनेजर वो कैंडिडेट को देखता है लाइक कैंडिडेट को नॉलेज कितना है प्रोडक्ट नॉलेज है और उसने कौन से कंपनी में काम किया है कौन से प्रोफाइल में काम किया है देन वो जो कंपनी का जो कंपनी का एचआर मैनेजर रहता है वो उस बेस पे उसको सिलेक्शन करता है और उसको सर्टिफिकेट वगैरह देखते हैं एंड वर्क एक्सपीरियंस एंड एवरीथिंग मैटर देन दे विल सेलेक्ट लाइक दिस
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so yes, Ankit is trying to say that HR also has many types, and okay, so the HR, the consultancy should be there, and they should get good chances or good candidates and select, right? So okay, so yes, you have a point there. But again, see, now if I look at it in totality, okay, the bigger picture of what is the case in front of us, how many of you will agree that, see, if we keep on saying that, you should get good candidates, you should get good candidates, do we somewhere agree that maybe Arunoday didn't do his job well, he didn't get the best candidates, or what is the issue?
3487 कोड किसका गाड़ी?
Yes, Mr. Manish, are you saying something?
उसके ड्राइवर को बोल
We have done best only, ma'am.
म्यूट योरसेल्फ आज से इसको लेके आ जाएगा ऑफिस.
Okay, please mute yourselves, those who are not speaking
सरिता बिहार में गाड़ी भी सरिता
in the
बिहार
class, please.
ड्राइवर गाड़ी में
Manish, can
Hello?
you mute it? Yeah.
Ma'am,
Tell
can
please,
you
Jigar.
mute all, ma'am?
Yeah, but
As
then
per
you
you.
will not be able to unmute then if
Nah,
you want
you
to
tell
speak.
me now who is unmuted.
Okay, so I
Hello?
think there is Manish. I have muted Manish. Okay, so fine. I think now it's clear. Tell me,
Hello?
Pallavi. Sorry, Pallavi ma'am.
Hello?
Okay, Jigar, you wanted to speak. Tell me.
Yeah, so as per my opinion, the Mr. Sadhu has given the order to Arunoday to recruit the people, best people,
Correct.
but there is not any detail best people definition is given. Ki at least what technical background they should have. What
Okay.
is their expectation from the candidate? And second thing, that is the mistake of Arunoday also at some level. He should ask the detailed criteria also, which good candidate he want to hire.
Correct.
And after the hiring, there may be good training is given at a particular domain or not. Because
Okay.
marketing is a field where multiple domain people are joining the company, but after then the specific domain training is also required.
Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Jigar. And I'm really liking the way that, your thought process is going. It's exactly the way that I want you all to think. Okay, because over here, as you all rightly said, HR has a role, and Arnoda is an experienced HR head. Okay, and see, now what they have given to us in the opening paragraph of this case is that they've told us that it's the CEO, it's AM Fertilizers, who has already been established for the last 11 years. They are now planning to expand, and their expansion has a different strategy now. Right? How they want to expand is now they want to reach down to the grassroots level of the farmers and the dealers who are directly dealing with the farmers. Okay, so that means really at the bottom of the pyramid, they are actually getting to the grassroots level, to the user, end user level to sell their fertilizers. Okay, so now this detailed plan obviously is not made known to Arunoday. So if you see the language with which Mr. Sandhu is speaking to Mr. Arunoday, he just tells him that we are going to expand our business, and for that I want 3 best marketing managers. So from whatever I can gather from you, I will select the best marketing managers or the best marketing, the top management or the middle level management, because they are the people who will help me grow and expand business in multiple areas. So Arunoday has just been working based on what his interpretation of the expansion is. Correct? Yes or no? Do you all agree with me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So what actually went wrong here? We have to, let's go to the questions. Okay, I think you will be able to understand once we move to the questions. Okay, what went wrong in the case? Now that you understand that only one, Mr. Badrinath, is performing well and the other 2 candidates are not performing well. Of course, some of you did mention what could have been the problems. Are there any other views? Does anybody else want to share what you think could have gone wrong in this particular case?
Ma'am, it should be all round process accordingly the protocols.
Hello.
Okay,
Recruitment,
so who
recruitment
didn't
process.
follow protocol? What do you think?
Actually, it is Arunadai's job to plan the protocol like HR interview, technical interview. Like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Jigar. Yeah, somebody else wants to say something?
Ma'am, there's a possibility that probably one person got properly trained and the others didn't get the required training.
Why do you think so? Why do you think in the same company one person got the training and one person didn't when they were recruited together? What could have been a possibility in your understanding?
Or
Nothing,
this
right?
maybe no, there's a possibility because maybe that person might have worked at a grassroots level earlier and the others might not have worked at a grassroots level.
Okay. So that is based on prior experience, right? It has
Yeah.
not got to do with training, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. So your past experience. Okay. And Arunoday, again, when he was recruiting these people, he said he has recruited 3 top marketing candidates, right? So he has not compromised on quality. Yes, agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
he has done the job to the best of his ability. Okay, so
Yes.
then what went wrong? Yes, I would like to raise Princey's point over here, right? Where she, I think, tried to say that it has to do with maybe even the regional connect that you have, the kind of maybe the language consciousness. See, I might be the best marketing manager, but if I can communicate only in English, probably I'm going to be very unsuccessful when I have to communicate with maybe farmers or people who are directly dealing with the cultivation of crops. They might not be able to understand my English, though I might have the best marketing skills. Agreed or not?
Right,
Oh,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Right? So there is absolutely no doubt over the over the kind of people or the quality of people that have been recruited by Arunoday. But Arunoday again did not know for what specific purpose they were required to be recruited. And since obviously Mr. Sandhu had a clear plan in his mind what he wanted to do with those 3 new recruits, it would have helped if he had briefed Mr. Arunoday also, right? That I want 3 candidates, but these candidates should have the local language knowledge so that they will be helpful in the expansion process. Do you think this would have been better?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Even
ma'am.
even
Yes.
Mr. Arunoday would have asked Mr. Sandhu,
Yes,
like,
Arunoday would have asked, probably. I'm not, trying to make or blame somebody specifically for this, but see, it's a company that has been in existence for the past 11 years, right? So from what we can gather is that if Mr. Arunoday has been with that company for at least a few years right now, he would have been constantly into this process of recruiting people and training them and placing them on various jobs, etc. He knows his job well, right? And so far, whenever I think Mr. Sandhu must have referred to recruiting people, he must have just gone by the book or gone
Hello.
by the rule that this is what I need to follow and this is how I choose my best candidates. So unless otherwise the company is taking a different approach to recruiting a different quality of people, if that has been a relatively new strategy, then probably Mr. Sandhu should have, yes, okay, as you all say, regional connect, domain expertise, absolutely. Okay, so if this is happening for the very first time with AMS fertilizers, that they are going and reaching out to the farmer level, then probably it becomes more of Mr. Sandhu's responsibility to brief Arunodai that this time we are not looking for the regular set of marketing people. We are expanding to places, but we are expanding to the grassroots level, ultimate users of our product. So we want people with vernacular and local language reference only. Correct? Do you all agree with me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So basically, what was missing was a proper job description, right? What kind of role do you want the people for? If it had been better defined and described, probably Arunodai would have fetched the right kind of candidates for him. Agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, who is at fault? Mr. Sandhu, Mr. Arunodai, or the two failed candidates? What do you think?
Communication gap.
I think, ma'am, there should be some job description and job specification should be given to the HR.
Correct. Correct. So, are you trying to say that Mr. Sandhu is at fault? Because this question is very direct. Who is at fault?
Yes,
Mr. Sandhu,
yes.
Mr. Arunodai, or two failed? Mr. Sandhu. Okay. So, because see, when you are recruiting two candidates, Mr. Arunodai, we know, has not lapsed in any of his duties, right? He has recruited the best candidates that have been possible by him, right? And that too because he had very short notice. In a week, whatever he could, the top candidates he has recruited. So obviously, he is not at fault. Okay. The two failed candidates again, because probably what they came to do was very different from what they were ultimately assigned to do. All right. So their failure, again, not directly attributable to their lack of knowledge of how to conduct a marketing job or how to go ahead and sell a product, because they have been doing this for years. They have an expertise in marketing, but not at grassroots level. Right. So their failure again over here, probably it, as you all said, Badrinath may have had some past experience, or he may have spent maybe a few years of his life in and around Assam. Maybe he knows the local language, or maybe he is himself a person who is very interested in linguistics and knows a little bit of Assamese. Or maybe as soon as he went to the place, he developed a very good local connect and picked up the language quite fast. We don't know, right? But Badrinath was successful. But unfortunately, the other two were stuck in places down south, right? So if you look at Mr. Kushwant, okay, probably a Punjabi out here, and probably somebody else, right? Who is Mr. Devnath, again, maybe a person from North India who was maybe, he was assigned to do a job in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, right? And these places are not very receptive to maybe Hindi or, English and, things like that. So only the local language could have helped here. So obviously it would have been better, okay, rather than playing a blame game of who is at fault. Again, it is again a matter of job description. Did Mr. Sandhu make it clear to Arunodai that we need these characteristics in the candidates that you are selecting? Language knowledge is primary importance, right? Had he mentioned that, the job would have been so much more easier. The journey would have been much more smooth sailing, right? Agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then we have a third question here. How the fertilizer company can come out of this issue? What do you think?
Ma'am, I think they need to call that two candidates who failed. Need to understand their working style of failure time, what challenges they are facing. If it is technical side, then we have to conduct the training for both of them.
Okay.
And we need to put continuously in observation for that two candidate for 30 days or 60 days.
Okay.
And if they are not improving their knowledge or maybe some skills, then we have to again rehiring for that positions.
Okay. So Jigar, what kind of training are you suggesting they should undergo?
They should first we should analyze what skill there are lacking. If regional approach is there, then definitely we have to check their grasping power for the new language understanding.
Correct.
And if it is not that, then we have to immediately go for the rehire.
Right.
If language connection is good, but they may not have a goal idea of the company, because if employee does not know where company want to go, so there is also some problem with the employee. They are not very clear from their mind what is the company's goal, right?
Okay.
So first, as Mr. Sandhu have to explain the goal of his company, and goal of the candidate is in the same line or not.
Okay.
And based on that, they can conduct the training for the development of the skill.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Jigar has given us one solution, that probably training and development can be a suggestion, where we can call these two failed candidates and give them some training, okay, on the technical or on the regional language front, whatever will help them to better cope with the situation and deliver better results. Okay, is there anyone else who has any other solutions to this? How can this situation
Ma'am,
be solved?
Gajanan here.
Yes,
Ma'am,
tell me,
company
Gajanan.
need business. Okay, company need business. Company cannot wait for the people to come, then we train, then we go for the process. That going to longer process. So meanwhile, we stop them. We, if we have a better maybe nearby people who is local language, we can hire them and start working project. We should not stop them.
Okay,
So
what do you mean by
meanwhile,
nearby people, Gajanan, if I may just interrupt?
me regional people, maybe regional will track the more people according to the job profile. They will match, hire them, and work on aggressively on the object, because object should not stop, because we wanted to achieve the target in within timeline.
Okay,
So
very good.
aggressive go for this.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Gajanan. Any other kind of suggestions for this?
Good afternoon. Good evening, ma'am. Aarti here.
Good evening, Aarti. Tell me.
Ma'am, Mr. Sandhu briefed the Mr. Arnonde about the project, about what is expecting.
Correct.
Yes. First, he explained him very well, and then he looked for the other candidates to go for the same thing.
Okay. So you're saying he should have briefed, right?
Yes, brief once
right
again.
now
Yes,
he has
ma'am.
not briefed. Yeah.
So yes, ma'am. Just
okay. So you're suggesting that we should start that recruitment process
restart.
all over
Yeah,
again, and this
recruitment
time Mr.
restart.
Sandhu
Yes,
should.
ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Sandhu should this time give a proper briefing of what kind
briefing
of
about what he is looking for.
Okay, all right, well accepted. Any other views on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me,
Since since they are one best candidates, he has finalized. We can also because the marketing, apart from the language, so many skills also required. Since they are best of them, because of the language abilities, I feel like they should not be taken away or removed from them. Instead of that, we can provide them some assistance, like assistant person who is well versed in the local language to work with them while doing the field visit, and also that they can bring more business also.
So are you speaking about recruiting more people to help from the regional front?
Yes, ma'am. Since they both are best, no, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, but every time they add to their head count, every time we are going to recruit new people, there's more outflow of cash also. You will have to keep paying these people as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tell me. Yes, Princey?
Handhold the employees who is failed there, those two employees who were there in the system. There will be people already, and one of them can be worked with them for some times and handhold them. That may also give a result. It is not that maybe the people, the new people who went there, they may not be knowing the process. The existing people over there, somebody can handhold them. They may do the better also.
Who is speaking constantly? Who is saying the hello? You'll have to just wait your turn, sir. Yeah, in case you're waiting for your turn, just please wait till we finish. Ashwini Kumar, is that you? Did you want to say something?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Okay, because even I can't identify who that candidate is.
No, ma'am. I was just saying that I think Jahangir has a very good point.
Okay, tell me.
That Jahangir has a very good point that we must have to train those two people, the existing one, and if they are not doing good or not doing better, then we have to change for the go for the what do you say, re-employment or rehiring.
Yeah. All right. See now, again, when I don't know who was speaking to me just before you. Okay, you did mention, I think, Aarti, right? Or Yamini. You spoke about hand holding the
Hello.
employees, right? Yeah.
Princy,
So,
ma'am.
yeah. So, Princey, you spoke about hand holding. So, what do you think was lacking in these new marketing managers that they needed hand holding on?
Ma'am, they have moved to a new place, and they
Okay.
it is a new place. It is always a challenge for anybody who goes there. And maybe the people assisting there, they could have spoken to them about the process. And somebody, if they can go with them to the particular places where the local language people they can
Okay.
connect with,
Okay.
or those
Okay.
kind of
Hello.
trainings also we can be given to them.
Right.
They may do
Right.
better, ma'am. It is not that they will not do. Some
Correct.
hand holding is required for when we go to a new place for a
Okay,
new
okay.
job.
You're talking about something like an induction, something about company specific trainings that they
Yes.
can undergo. Something, yeah, hand holding. I get your point. Okay. Uh, Someone else, anybody else wants to pitch in anything
Can
here?
I add up something?
Hello.
Tell me, Alpha.
Yes, what we can do is like we can give them the training, or else if they are unable to grasp something, then we can go for re-employment. But since they are also the best candidates, what one can do is we can hold them, but we have to allocate them like for company where best they can be used of. Like
Okay,
we
okay,
shouldn't remove
granted.
them because
Yes.
it's not their mistake. The HR, the Mr. Sandhu didn't give the job description properly, so we cannot take them up from the company. Since they are the best candidates, we can utilize them in another way, and we
Okay.
have to go for re-employment.
All right, Alpha. Well taken.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Is that it? Okay. So can we just sort of close this discussion? Yes, we got a lot of suggestions from you. Okay. Some of them were really very good. Okay. And some of you had a point to
Hello.
make, but yes.
Hello.
Yeah, Ankit?
Yes, ma'am. My suggestion is like HR recruitment manager is there. Like first they will think about the job profile like JD. What's the JD? And if the candidate understand about the JD and the profile is matching the about the JD, then only like HR manager will select to them to the interview round. And if the once
Absolutely, absolutely. So defining the policy is very important. Thank you, Ankit. Again, we have sort of, finished one full circle and we've come back to the point that job description is lacking, right? And
Hello.
therefore, a well-defined job would have fetched you the best candidates. Yes, tell me, Ankit. Is there anything more you want to add?
If the if the candidate is matching this profile, like example by the example like in finance and marketing HR, there is a background is there. But if the candidate is working in marketing background and like HR want to see the any job profile, first they will send the about JD. In JD there is a job discussion. If the candidate is separately from the JD, then only they will select it from HR and like candidate like HR is saying about the candidate is the stability like how much they work in the organization and what's the qualification and what's the experience and what's the knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
If all the match, then definitely they will hire.
Okay, okay, very good, Ankit. Your point is well taken. So you're more or less speaking about the fact that the company needs or should have a proper policy for recruitment, right? Wherein they are going to go in a step-by-step procedure, right? And they are going to go stage by stage, have a proper description for the first part, and then after their proper selection process only the recruitment should happen, right? This is very good. Okay, it speaks about companies having policies, HR policies in place, and recruitment should be done on a well holistic manner, okay, which is correct and well taken, Ankit. But again, everything will differ case to case. See, like in this case, Mr. Sandhu told Mr. Arunodhay very specifically that you go ahead and recruit, don't wait for me for anything, right? I want immediate recruitments to happen, so don't come back to me at all. You only do entire procedure at your end and finally bring the candidates to me
Yes, ma'am.
within a week.
sometimes and some candidate is hiring from various background. Like
Ankit, I can't hear you now.
Ma'am, I don't know why we are losing.
Yeah, what is the problem? Then I'm not sure. I can hear all of you well. When it comes to Ankit, I don't know.
अंकित नेक्स्ट सेशन में पूछ लेना भाई, बस कर दो.
No, it's not like that. Okay, for some reason, I don't know whether his network is lagging or. Oh, okay. That's why all that noise. Okay, and unfortunately, you cannot, filter out all the noise when you're traveling. So it's okay. Okay, so I think he's made a point. Okay, basically, he was speaking about the need for having HR policies in place, which will ensure that the right kind of candidates are recruited based on the job description, based on the need of the hour. You will recruit them, and likewise, you will put them on the job. Okay, so as you all have agreed at some point of time or the other that all the three candidates that were hired were the top marketing candidates, and therefore you should not just look at firing off these people saying that they are failures, right? So even see, though all of you had different suggestions to give, I would say those people who felt that maybe hand holding is required, maybe what you need is just a little bit of training for these people, or where some of you said that we should have assistants or local assistants who will help them for that regional kind of help that they need, right? And some of you also said that we should see how best we can utilize them in other areas. So why I would more go with your solutions is, one is that removing candidates who are already recruited and then re-recruiting people not only is a lot of valuable time lost in that, everything is effort and money as well, right? And do we have that with us? Right now the company is in that verge of expansion where they absolutely don't have time to waste on anything. And obviously whenever we are looking for solutions, we might have several alternate solutions, but we need to choose a solution which is not just best in terms of implementation, but also in terms of cost effectiveness, right? And therefore recruiting, re-recruiting, firing people who have already been recruited, getting assistants, hiring newer people from the local regions to assist them, all these will add to your cost. Okay, so what we can do is probably, I'm also giving you another solution. See, just like you all have your own suggestions, right, about how we can resolve the problem, so also what I would think about is probably let's have a meeting of all the marketing managers, get them all together into the head office, right, which is in Punjab. Mr. A.M. Sandhu can call a meeting of all the marketing managers, including Badrinath, Devnath, and Kushwant, sit together and tell them that now that we have expanded our regions into Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Assam, right? So among the existing marketing managers, right, in all the other regions of India, how many of you are maybe conversant with maybe Tamil or Kannada or the local languages of these two states? Probably we can shift you down south where you will be able to handle expansion in those two states, while these two people can be pushed back north where they are comfortable in the local language and they can continue what these earlier marketing managers have started off, right? This is also a solution which companies can think of. Okay, just by shuffling their stuff, right, based on their regional skills and expertise, linguistic abilities, where we can shuffle them and utilize them better as well. Okay, so that is a possibility. And then we have one last question here. So what concepts of HR can you correlate with this case? What do you think?
Ma'am, repeat the question, ma'am.
What are the HR concepts that you can correlate with this case? The last question. Can you all still see the screen or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm talking about the fourth question.
Yes, ma'am, can see.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. In this one, job description
very good
has to be very clear.
All right.
Then internal transfers.
Internal transfers, okay. Probably based on the point that I told in the end. Internal
yes,
transfers, okay. All right. What else? Okay, we did touch upon training and development at some stage. We did touch upon recruitment. Okay, so all of these aspects somewhere, okay, policies, HR policies and policy formulation. So all of these are the various HR concepts that we touched upon in today's class. Okay, so this was the case about this. Yes, tell me. Tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me, I can hear you. Who's speaking? Ankit?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
tell me,
see,
Ankit.
like HR, yes, ma'am. HR recruitment is like once the HR recruitment, like after they are giving the training and like depend on the candidate. Like if the candidate is working professional, then they do not require the training. If candidate is like fresher and in same background, then they will require the training. And if the candidate is working in same, they do not require training, then directly they will go to selection and with the full package.
Okay, Ankit, well accepted. Okay, out of whatever I could listen to from your end, yes, it's a task well done. Okay, so so we have
Yes,
completed
thank you,
this
madam.
case. Let's quickly move to the next case. Okay, it's a very short case again. Okay, I think you can see 5B on your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. I'm going to read it quickly for you. As a marketing manager, again relating to marketing manager, as I told you, there's somewhere linked. Yes.
You have related higher.
Okay, is somebody willing to read instead of me? That will be great.
No, ma'am, you read it because that would be better to
Okay.
understand.
All right. Somebody had started, so I thought maybe she would like to take over. Okay, students, just for the time being, so that you all hear me well, can you all just mute yourselves, please? Okay, students, can you all hear me? Okay. Okay, students, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I'm reading the case. As a marketing manager of a company, so which means you are the marketing manager. Okay. As a marketing manager of the company, you have recently hired Mr. Moiz Khan as assistant manager sales for your Karachi office. Okay. In the Karachi office, you've given him a small team of 10 sales executives so that he could gain a real experience of managing people. Over a period of time, you have concluded that he very often relies on Mr. Akram Khan, a senior sales executive, for his managerial work. Mr. Moiz positively responds to all the recommendations of the senior sales executive without going into the details or any critical analysis. He believes that all his lower staff are well experienced by virtue of the number of years they've spent in the company and thus considers them as the backbone of the company. The senior sales executive does not have any respect for him and considers himself as a namesake head. Some of the team members also share his views and think that Mr. Moiz Khan does not know his job and that Mr. Akram Khan is the real boss. According to the recent performance report, Mr. Moiz's team has lower results than other teams. Mr. Moiz has been in the job for the last 3 months. Did you understand this case now? Okay, so you are the marketing manager, so you are on the top right there. Okay, now you have hired Mr. Moiz Khan. He is the assistant sales manager. Okay, he is the assistant sales manager, and under him comes all the sales executives and so on. So Mr. Moiz Khan is new for the job. Okay, he's been 3 months into the job, as you can read in the last sentence given here. Okay, and this is your Karachi office. Okay, now you have a small team of just 10 sales executives, among which Mr. Akram Khan is one of the senior sales executives. Okay, now Mr. Moiz Khan, because he is new to the job or whatever his style of functioning, he so often relies on whatever Mr. Akram Khan tells him, because he's a senior sales executive in that job, in that company for a long time. So he started completely relying on whatever the senior sales executive says, to the extent that he has stopped going into the details or critically analyzing anything that is being told to him. He completely believes that all his staff are well experienced in the company and therefore considers that everybody is important. Nobody needs any kind of spoon feeding on anything. Everybody knows their job very well and they will handle themselves. Okay, now on the flip side, what has happened? Mr. Akram Khan, who is the senior sales executive, he now has lost all his respect for Moiz Khan. He says now Mr. Moiz Khan is completely reliant on me for anything. He is himself not thinking about situations, not taking decisions, not telling us what we should do, which means he's a namesake head. right? He's lost his complete respect for him. And some of the team members also have begun to think just like Akram Khan, right? They think that Mr. Moise doesn't know his job, he doesn't know to take decisions, he doesn't know how to head a sales team, right? And that Mr. Akram Khan is running the business, right? He's running the show. That's what everybody's thinking. And according to recent performances, unfortunately, again, Mr. Moise's team is showcasing lower results than other sales teams in the company. Okay, so this is the background of the case. And sorry that I didn't give you all a chance to summarize this case. Okay, because we are also left with relatively less time. So I thought, let me do the summarization. We'll open the floor for discussion with you guys. Okay, so tell me, guys, based on the understanding of this case, which leadership style do you think Mr. Moise Khan is exhibiting? You must have learned about leadership and leadership styles, right, in your HR?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, Jigar, what kind of leadership style is visible in Moise Khan?
It's delegating style.
Okay, very good. Anything more?
Yeah, people management.
People management. Is he really managing?
Yeah, definitely. If we losing our control on the people, that isn't people think this way. So that leadership quality should not be follow that reason.
See, people management is about managing the people, right? Not leaving everything to them and saying you run the show. Is it?
It is laissez-faire leadership.
There you are, Princey. Yes. Okay. So it is laissez-faire or a free reign leadership, as you say, where you not just delegate. See, delegation is good. Okay. In a sense, you can delegate those tasks where it is not important that you should do it, right? Where the job needs to be done, but not necessarily by you. Please go ahead and delegate. Delegation is a very good aspect of leadership if you're able to do it well, if you're able to understand what can be delegated and what should not be delegated, right? Now, as Princey said, this is a situation of laissez-faire leadership or a free reign leadership where the leader is telling every subordinate, you have the right to take a decision and do whatever you want, right? For whatever reason, not that he's running away from his job, but probably this is a kind of leadership style which believes that all my subordinates are well equipped, they are well, experienced, and they know their jobs well. Why should I go and micromanage? Why should I go and tell them what they should do? They are smart enough to know that, right? It's that kind of leadership style. So yes, as Princey said, it is a laissez-faire kind of leadership style that is being followed here. And I'm sure you've all read about laissez-faire style, somewhere in your previous HR classes. Okay. So as a marketing manager, now you're the marketing manager. That's what we started the case with, right? As a marketing manager of the company, you have hired Moise Khan. So now tell me, as a marketing manager, suggest ways and means which will initiate proper senior subordinate leaderships. What will you do?
Ma'am, I think we should first understand the skill set of the employees and team. And accordingly, we should choose the leadership style.
Okay, very good. So are you in somewhere, see, again, this is only with reference to this case, okay, Jigar? So I'm saying in this case, are we anywhere getting a hint that the sales team here is not good, not experienced, and therefore the style is not good?
Not that case, ma'am, but actually, Mr. Moise has not analyzed the people performance and skill set first. He completely blindly give a trust on the senior sales executive when he delegate all the things to him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, Jigar, accepted. Yes, anyone else?
Proper leadership is not there, ma'am.
Proper leadership is not there. So in your definition, Princey, what is proper leadership?
I think it's on the autocratic mode.
Proper leadership, whether the employees does their job, if they are knowing about it, being a responsible person, being a manager, we have our own responsibility to monitor day-to-day activities and go through. If an employee do and your subordinate do and a PPT also, being a manager, you have to read through that whether what they have, anybody can do mistakes. So being a manager, you are going to present yourself to the senior authority. So the second person, whoever has done and gave you also, you cannot believe 100% on that. So you have to analyze the data before you present to the senior authority.
Absolutely.
you have to have a leadership. When you show your leadership, if you say, if your colleagues feel that you manager checks on everything, there will be a the subordinate also will have much control on whatever they do, and they do things correctly.
Correct. Okay. Okay, Princey. Well taken. Okay. So basically, you when you have studied, styles of leadership, not only Princey, I'm talking to the entire class. Okay. When we have studied styles of leadership, somebody, I think, even made a passing mention of autocratic leadership, right? You have also spoken about, I think, laissez-faire leadership. We have spoken about the delegatory leadership. We spoke
Ma'am,
about,
one can
right?
also adopt a
Democratic.
strategic leadership, ma'am.
Very good. Arfa, what is that?
Ma'am, like it acts as a bridge between the senior manager and the employees, where the decisions are given to the employees and he follows as per the objectives of the company, and that same thing is communicated to the senior manager. So here a link is made between the senior manager as well as an employee to all the
Okay.
employees.
Okay.
So a
All right.
strategic leadership can also be applied.
Okay, strategic leadership, and more so, see, rather than one style working best, or saying that, you have to have a democratic leader or you should have a delegatory leader. I believe that what is more the need of the hour is situational leadership, right? Like when Arfa said, strategic leadership or situational leadership is something that will differ case to case. There might be situations where you have to be absolutely autocratic and say, just follow what I say. There might be situations where you want to be completely democratic and say, come on, give me your suggestions, I want to consider all of it and then see what is the best workable solution. And there can be situations you can leave it laissez-faire or completely to their employees, where you are working in a team where you know that everybody is well experienced, everybody has take that particular project. You might want to have it laissez-faire as well. So basically, we are looking at the best, mid path, as we call it, which is situational leadership, right? So what can you do as a marketing manager in this case is, obviously, you will have to speak to Mr. Moise Khan, and maybe you will have to take him into confidence and say that while you've been hired for a certain reason, for a certain skill set, etc., also make sure that you are not getting completely taken away by what your team is doing, right? And a little before I had asked Jigar also, right, that Jigar, is it wrong to completely leave it to your team, and are we getting any hints that that his team is not well experienced or something? And though Jigar said that yes, we are not getting any hints, we are getting a clear hint in the last sentence where they are saying that Moise's team is the lowest performer, right? And obviously, if the entire marketing team under Moise, those 10 executives, were well experienced and knew their jobs absolutely well, there was no reason why theirs would have been the lowest performing team. Correct? So
Here,
ultimately,
ma'am.
yes. Tell me, Jahangir.
Since a manager has hired assistant manager, I find it there was some issue with the numbers of marketing, like the capital, what they were earning.
Okay.
And that's the reason that manager has decided that he or she has to hire assistant manager to improve this.
Okay.
If an assistant manager has been hired by a manager
Mm.
and the numbers doesn't increase and the
Yeah.
assistant manager leave them, the subordinate team members leave them to do as they are working from past 5 year or 10 year. So being an assistant manager and recruited with means just 3 months before,
Correct.
as I have seen the case, it means that Moise is not giving his 100% to the company.
Correct.
And since he is being hired just recently, so he has to understand deeply to all the team members, and he has to involve in every point
Correct.
to see whether
Absolutely.
the team is performing perfectly or not. Because Moise is hired because the team were not performing. That's the reason, I believe.
Correct.
Otherwise, if the team were performing well, then Moise could have not got a chance to be as assistant manager of the team members.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm completely with you on this, Jahangir. When I say that, okay, he's been recruited for a reason, probably that team was already a very low performing team. So I'm not expecting miracles. I'm expecting that if Moise Khan comes and takes over, he will show some kind of responsible leadership where he is going to ensure that people are going to take him seriously. He is going to give some serious inputs into how that marketing team needs to work in that area. But unfortunately, even before he gets to know the team well. See, laissez-faire leadership is something that you use when you have understood your team inside out, when you've
Yes,
understood their
exactly.
skill
When you
set.
have
Okay?
like experience, like working with them from last 2 year
Correct.
or 3 year, and you know
Absolutely.
every individual person deeply,
Right.
then you can depend on them, and you can understand that, okay, this guy will give
Exactly.
me this ratio or this result, so I am totally okay with this. But being
Correct.
3 month old of employee and you're leaving them totally, it
Correct.
doesn't gives a good result. That is very sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, completely with you. Okay, so I think this was again a very short case, only 2 questions, and we have answered them. So I hope you all have enjoyed today's cases, students. It was more on the recruitment, job description, and leadership. Okay, so do let me know
So,
your
ma'am,
input. Tell me.
what is exactly what we have shared as a means students?
Mm.
What was the actual reason that these the number were means less as per the expected from the company?
You're talking about the Moise Khan case.
Yes, yes. What is
Okay,
the
see,
final that where the mistake, where the problem
see
started,
the,
and
no,
why
the
the numbers
problem.
got shorted?
No, the problem over here, see, we have only a snapshot of what happened over here. So, from what details we have in the case, we can probably come to a conclusion that Mr. Moise Khan, when he was recruited as an assistant manager, should have again been briefed about his job well. And the fact that the numbers are already quite staggering in this particular team, and he needs to be a strong, not just a namesake head, but a de facto head, right? Thereby playing a very strong role as a leader in driving successful numbers in that team. So either he has not been briefed on that respect, or he should have been told that don't completely go by whatever your subordinates say. You have to study your team well and apply appropriate leadership styles with them at different points in time. And you need to yourself devote some time to understand situations rather than simply agree to anything and everything that your senior sales executive is telling you. Okay, so there are a lot of things actually that went out of place here, right from maybe the briefing given to Mr. Moise Khan about what exactly he needs to focus on, maybe not micromanagement, but at least adopting an appropriate leadership style, at least till the numbers improve, till the team is well trained, till you start stabilizing yourself, and then maybe laissez-faire or letting people be on their own would have been a better idea. So he should have been briefed about his importance as a leader and portraying important responsible leadership skills, right? That would have probably led to better numbers, at least in the time being. Okay, Jahangir. Okay, I don't hear you because you're muted. I'm not sure you're saying something, but okay, great. Okay,
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
okay, no worries. Okay, I hope today's cases were understood well by all of you. Thanks for patient
Yes, ma'am.
listening.
Thank you so
Yeah.
Thank
much,
you so
ma'am.
much,
Nice
ma'am.
section.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am,
ma'am.
and
Yeah.
nice
Thank you so
discussion with
much,
you.
ma'am. Great
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you
Most
so much.
welcome.
Great section.
Hello,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Yes, tell me,
From
Arpa.
where these cases are taken? Like from
The cases are
textbook?
taken from different sources here. Yeah, yes, dear.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Take care, dear. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Switching Kumar, किसका ना थोबड़ा तोड़ देना, ताना नहीं उसको.